day in the morning, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between and beyond. This is PrideStyle, along with West Coast Pro. Turn the Tide, coming to you live from Mujeres in beautiful San Diego, California. I'm the professional wrestling professional, Tino. With me tonight, the Bear Maximum Bovey. I'm a fucking bear. And Ethan Lawmaster working on a nickname.
And come on, 375 pounds, the team of CJ Tino and Jordan Cruz.
It was a destructive return for Alpha Instinct back in January here in San Diego, but not the result they wanted, challenging Brittany Bateman for those tag team championships.
What a handsome stack of meat making their way to the ring. If I may.
You may.
I did.
But make no mistake, Bobby, these are two dangerous men with a dangerous job to do.
And a lot of lats. And deltoids. Very, very hard to build those bad boys up, but they've done it.
Those deltoids on full display. Oven meat.
Two men chiseled out of granite, looking to crush anyone you put in front of them.
And introducing their opponents.
But no bigger challenge than one of the most beloved tag teams in PrideStyle history, reunited at last.
I'm at bated breath.
I am also excited.
Sizzling hot coming out of those speakers and into your bleeding ears.
It has been too long since we've seen Zakher in a PrideStyle pro ring, finding her passion for pro wrestling once again, knocking off the ring rust. And though G-Sharpe has always been reluctant to team with Zakher, he's never wanted to team with her more than today.
This is an absolutely celebrated reunion. Zakher, G-Sharpe, the team of Z-Sharpe, back in action.
And if anyone can remind Zakher who she is and what she is capable of, is the man who has been in her corner all throughout her PrideStyle run.
They're fired up, and if you're not fired up, you might already be dead. This match is going to be fun. Also, just look at Gregory. He looks so happy today. That's his happy scowl.
Oh dear.
Gosh, it's good to see Zakher back in the ring here.
Oh my. Well.
Oh, all right, cool. 1 in, 1 out.
That's one way to end that conversation with your teammate.
And Zara may be excited to get back into the ring, but it's smart to let Greg kick things off.
Hey, you call him G.
G-Sharpe starting things out for Z-Sharpe as CJ Tino starts things out for Alpha Instinct.
Now, CJ Tino is one of my favorite wrestling anomalies because he looks like he's going to be doing a bunch of flips and all like the cool stuff. No, powerhouse. Also, he can do the flips, but there's very few people in wrestling who I can confidently say, I know that guy deadlifts more than me. That guy deadlifts more than me.
A 5.51 personal record. They don't call him Mr. 5.51 for nothing.
Oh.
But right now the speed of G-Sharpe getting the better of CJ Tino in the early going.
Oh, man.
Which
means after a little more protein, they could change his nickname. Even higher number.
I thought 5'1" was his height. About 5'1".
Super tall. Lawmaster, what's your nickname again?
I do not have one.
Well, how much you bench?
Nothing.
All right, Mr. 000 Lawmaster. I love it.
You should see me try to tear down the ring. It's ridiculous. Right now with a cover by CJ Tino, but Greg maintains hold of the head. Back up to his feet. Tino, however, gets that boot behind the knee, lowering the base, and bars the arm.
Smart fundamentals. But nay, says G-Sharpe.
Able to roll his way out of the hold. Arm drag, bars the arm himself.
Yep.
Tino will not stay down for long. Dragged into the corner and tag into Zakher.
Zakher making the decision on her own.
A wise decision.
Ready to show the world the real Zakher. Much more refined in her offense. Much smarter in that ring.
That double standing Japanese arm drag?
Incredible scenes to be seen.
As now it's Zakher keeping up the assault on that arm. Making up for lost time in her PrideStyle return. Now tricking on that wrist. Tino needs his way out of this, and he will find it with that kick.
Absolutely. Dragging Zakher to their corner.
And tag into a man who had a hand in training Zakher.
Oh.
In the form of the modern-day Spartan, the Apex Mauler, Jordan Cruz.
Focusing on that left arm and the shoulder.
Something that doesn't really get talked about much in here is that, yeah, Jordan Cruz actually had a hand in training a lot of San Diego's great wrestlers.
Mahistral cradle by Zakher when they get the better of her mentor.
Oh, boy.
And fans, that is a dangerous man. You are smart to run.
Dino, would you stand your ground?
Never. Well, in this situation?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
And he would be carrying me out of the way.
Yeah. We'll be on the freeway back to Las Vegas.
Don't worry, guys. I'm here. I'm the scariest person in this entire block.
He's a bear.
I am a bear.
But right now, it's Zara bearing down on the wrist of Cruz. Cruz, though, has other plans. With a handful of dreads, sending Zara down to the mat.
Really smart wrestling. Not very kind wrestling. Very smart wrestling by Jordan Cruz.
Sending Zara into the corner. Zara up and over with an assist from the bottom rope.
Very
Hoisting
spry.
up the much bigger man with a hip toss. Tagging out to G-Sharpe.
Ref, can we get a 5 count? All right, there he goes. Thank you.
Whipped into the cartwheel back elbow. Now Jordan Cruz stunned.
Wow!
Sends him into the fly line from G-Sharpe.
The momentum and the dead stop of Jordan Cruz.
But that was still just one.
Where does he find it? Huge amount of wherewithal coming off of Jordan Cruz here.
That's the two veterans going at it. Sharpe carving out a reputation all across the world in his native Southwest. Jordan Cruz carving out a reputation here in SoCal. As now Sharpe sent out onto the apron. Into Jordan.
Up and
Cruz
over.
at CJ Tino's territory.
Yeah, see, Jordan. Oh, G-Sharpe able to fight off both members of the tag team, if just for a moment, and now in a dangerous, very dangerous situation. Oh no, boys, what do you have in mind here?
From the shoulders of Tino, hoisted up and planted with a deadlift suplex.
What an assist right there. Absolutely beautiful.
I saw it with my very own eyes, and I have to say that is physically impossible what I just witnessed.
As now CJ Tino enters the picture.
Definitely need to be big, strong boy to do stuff like that.
Freshly recovered from his time on the apron. And ready to bring it to G-Sharpe. Going right back after the arm. Russian leg sweep.
You see the back of G-Sharpe's head bouncing off of the canvas there with that leg sweep.
Tino was not letting up. Bringing Sharpe back into his corner. And now the Apex Mauler comes in.
These boys are strong, and they are incredibly smart dividing up this ring.
And after all the work Zara has done to get back into this ring, back to PrideStyle, she's not going to let it slip away that easily. Greg isn't going to let it slip away that easily. Sharpe, though, working his way back up to his feet.
Oh,
Got by Jordan Cruz.
Jesus, Snap barely describes that suplex.
So close, but so far.
Zara's return to PrideStyle has been kind of uneventful.
yeah, staying on that apron.
Sharpe, though, eats two back elbows. from Tino and Cruz. Tino off the ropes with a double stop. And again, that agility, as you mentioned, in the back pocket of CJ Tino.
Yep.
Great ups from Tino.
Yeah, he's got the size and agility of someone who could do really fun things like that, and he just also happens to be much stronger than you, too. It's kind of not fair.
Hits the ankle, but unable to tag back out to Cruz. Sharpe doing everything he can to fight his way out of this situation. But as Cruz comes back in, Tino grabs the arm, and Cruz brings down the elbow. But that stream says it all. There's still plenty of fight in G-Sharpe. Now hoisted up by Cruz and brought back into enemy territory. Tagging Tino.
I love Jordan Cruz pretending that wasn't a person he was just carrying around.
Back
Sharpe though, able to escape, sending Cruz into Tino. And this could be the opening Sharpe has been looking for.
That boy's out of commission.
Jawbreaker dropping Cruz. But Sharpe has to make that crawl, has to close the gap. Make that tag to Zara. Turn this back in their favor.
Jordan Cruz clawing away, trying to get a hold of those shoes. And
right there is Tino. Taking Zara down.
Oh, very smart wrestling.
And dashing the hopes of a tag.
Much to the chagrin of G-Sharpe, I have to say you're correct, Bobby.
There's things that you can learn, and there's, well, I guess that's why they call them alpha instinct, because they don't teach you in wrestling school how to do some of these very rude things.
How about that?
But they're, yeah, beautiful.
Hurricane Rana the Cruz, sending him head first into Tino. And now a much more even fight. But Sharpe is the one to tag out to.
Find her.
He's got it last in there with Tino and Cruz until Zara can get back up and make that tag. But Sharpe is holding his own. Taking down Tino. He just needs to make that tag to Zara.
I have to say that collision might have been as devastating to either of those.
Yeah, Gregory ran right into CJ Tino, and CJ Tino he's like a little brick. Very, very solid human being.
As Cruz comes back in, Zara not far behind.
Yes, cross body.
And bringing it to Alpha Instinct. Willed on by her hometown crowd here in San Diego. Rising knee, stuns Jordan Cruz. HC Enziguri down to her knees. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Oh, brother.
And a basement Hurricane Rana. Viking Cruz into the mat.
Good Lord.
This is what everyone wanted to see. This is why everyone bought a ticket tonight.
Tino tries for the back suplex. Zara landing on her feet, sending Tino off into the rope. Double Z spine buster. Cover by Zara, but only a 2.
What a sequence put on display by Zara Zakher.
And I saw you reaching for that hammer, Tino. That could have very well been it.
Maybe a little premature, but have to be ready. I imagine this matchup can end at any moment.
What's Jordan Cruz doing back in there?
Now Alpha Instinct turning the tide back in their favor. But Zara's got backup in the form of her best friend.
Yeah, good backup from G-Sharpe. Now Alpha Instinct chasing Z-Sharpe to the very edge of this ring. And those assembled here. Fudge Brownies, ow!
A pair of suicide dives from Z-Sharpe.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
We got some unyielding steel chairs in the front here.
Some danger in stereo.
And the sharp shattering plastic also. What a deadly situation we've put ourselves in here.
And
Zara
even
Zakher.
after all this time, Z-Sharpe haven't lost a step.
Z-Sharpe begging for the tag and gets it. Takes it to the skies.
As Sharpe scales to the top. All the way from the 3rd story. Get the splash.
All the way down.
But will it be enough to secure the victory? Not just yet.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Maybe he didn't get all of that throwing his body on CJ Tino, but they're not done yet.
No. Alpha Instinct all but in tatters. Jordan Cruz sliding in to get Zara Zakher out of the equation. Back elbows from CJ Tino. Unable to wriggle out from the vice-like grip.
With a little assist from his partner. Sends Cruz directly into Sharpe. And the fetches a drop kick from Tino.
Goodness me.
Scooped up by Cruz. Evil intentions on the mind of Alpha Instinct.
the speed and athleticism of Alpha Instinct. Is it gonna get?
In what was tantamount to a car crash on the body of G-Sharpe, he's still able to kick out. Because the World Fighter, well, he's the World Fighter.
To hyperextend that metaphor, the kick out, shattering the windshield and breaking into freedom like his own jaws of life.
Say something about cars there, Lawmaster.
We're about to see a human car crash, a pileup in this ring.
That's the man right there. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Victory roll by Sharpe. It'll not be enough to steal it, but it is enough to open the door to G-Sharpe, able to evade CJ Tino. Bringing it to Cruz.
Let's go.
Looking for that sliced bread, but interrupted by Jordan Cruz's clutch. And now
Sent into the corner. O'Connor rolled dead. Lift. German, but that's not enough. Cruz with the ankle lock, looking for the submission victory.
I mean, who's even legal, ref?
Oh no, the ref had a good eye on it when CJ Tino.
But Zara's not going to let it happen.
Jordan Cruz and G-Sharpe are what we have to officially keep an eye on.
Stepping over into that Boston grab.
No.
Superstitiously stronger when applied by a Bostonian.
Not like this.
They're screaming at each other, don't tap.
But Zara will not let him. Sharpe will fight for the pain and break up this hold.
G-Sharpe's love language is violence. Taking that slap to the face, waking right the heck up.
And the same lesson Sharpe has learned throughout his time teaming with Zara. Sometimes teamwork beats the dream work, as we see here.
Oh, good
Serving up a head
Lord.
sandwich on elbow. Tino, however, eats the boot from G-Sharpe. Now it's Cruz left standing. Steps up into the knee, rocking G-Sharpe. Now with his eyes set on Zara. Looking to suplex him directly onto Sharpe again.
Reversal. Only no.
Dead weight in the cover.
Oh my God.
And thank God Sharpe had the wherewithal to kick out, because that could have been it.
Good Lord, and what a unceremonious end to an incredible matchup, both these teams. But it will not end like that. This match does continue. And the fighting spirit burns as bright as 1,000 suns.
As it's Cruz, Tino, Zara, and Sharpe face to face in this ring after everything they've suffered through. And ready to bring it. Zara taken out. Sharpe all on his own with Alpha Instinct. And not backing down.
G-Sharpe is seeing red after seeing Zakher crumple onto the concrete.
And Enziguri by Tino. Big knee from Cruz. And looking to end this once and for all. Tino, now the legal man. Cruz. Unsuccessful in whatever he's attempting. Sharpe bringing it to both members of Alpha Instinct. Firing off punches for both men. The hold of the head. Nails the pump kick, wiping out Tino. Sweeps out the legs of Cruz. And off the back of Cruz, the knee for CJ Tino. Do not underestimate the creativity of the World Fighter.
Never. Oh.
And he caught his ankle with his jaw.
Seemingly so. Fingertips away from the bottom rope, but CJ Tino
Smartly catching the
Double
hand,
team.
reaching for the ropes with the crossface.
He's not going to call for the tap because both the men are in. One of
Yeah.
them being the legal man, the other one being not the legal man.
But Zara in there to make the save.
Beautiful professional wrestling, folks. It's happening right before your very eyes. Back elbow, taking Zakher. No!
Handspring cutter.
God damn!
And now's the time to end it. Sharpe with a hold of Tino. Shining Wizard into the suplex. And G-Sharpe wins.
Just like that.
The team of Zara, Zakher, and G-Sharpe.
Blink and you'll miss it action.
And proof for Zara that all of that hardship, making her way back to this ring, struggling to find herself once again, it was all worth it for a moment like this. United with her older brother.
You brought up blink and you'll miss it. I don't have to blink because my eyes are welling up with tears. Ooh. Victorious and back together, reunited, and it feels incredible. Z-Sharpe.
And the world fighter G-Sharpe. Together they are. Z